Show, Tom Show, Tom Show. And that's the intro to the Tom Show. Hi, I'm Tom. This way is my wife, Catherine.
Hi.
Say hello, Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine.
Tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
I don't know what to say. I am 33. I am married to Tom from the Tom Show. I am disabled and I'm a writer. I have a sweet pup named Olive, who I'm sure you've seen or heard of, probably from Tom.
Probably, yes.
I don't know. Have you not talked about Olive?
Oh, of course I have. All the time. Everyone knows Olive. But no, not too many people know you. They know of you. I've tagged you before, but no one's really known you. So, yeah. What's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
I'm doing a show with you, my lovely wife. What do you want to talk about? Anything specific? Do you want to go through my stuff and add in, or how do you want to do this?
I don't know. Do you want to ask me questions, or do you want to talk about Nintendo, or what?
I can ask you a few questions. You're not into sports really, but you've become more involved. You played as a kid. You had fun playing as a kid, but like watching or collecting sports doesn't really appeal to you. But since you've been married to me, you have a little bit more of an interest in it. And I've never met John Elway, but you have. Do you want to tell everyone about how you met John Elway?
That's true. I didn't really know who he was at the time, but when I was in high school, I worked at a movie theater in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and it was the only movie theater in town. We had, taken down the two tiny theaters in town and then built this huge one down by the river. And he had come to buy some movie tickets, and everyone was like, after I served him, they were like, everyone was so like, oh my God, that was John Elway. And I'm like, I had to look up who it was. But like now I know who he is, after living in Boulder and Denver area, now I know who he is. But it's kind of funny.
How about you talk about why San Diego sucks and you guys fled?
Hey.
Oh, that's just their sports teams. Never mind.
They don't suck. I still have some loyalty to San Diego sports teams. You know this.
Do you? I thought I killed all of that.
I told you the other day that I didn't want to root against the Chargers because they were from San Diego before
they moved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you care about sports at all, really, though?
Do I care?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they affect my life greatly. But
how so?
The piece of the household, my dear. It impacts whether you're yelling at the TV or not.
So Denver teams just need to win all the time to make you happy.
Yes, literally, I root for teams to win so my husband will be happy that day. No, but I do support, I do get excited about, Broncos and Rockies stuff,
You do like to go to the Rockies games. We've been to a few, and you always have fun.
It's super fun. I don't know that I'd enjoy going to a Broncos game as much because those games look crazy.
Yeah, they're intense. It's not fun. Look at his face. Does his face look like it has fun at Broncos games?
I like watching them at home. That's the only kind of football game I'm usually interested in. But,
yeah.
to go to that stadium. Even driving by that stadium on game days is awful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We met online years ago, 12 years ago, and this will be our 10th wedding anniversary. Um, you don't like sports, and I do, but we have a lot of.
Stop saying I don't like sports.
I'm just trying to get to our shared interests.
Yeah.
You're an English major. We like a lot of the same books, a lot of the same genres. Science fiction, fantasy, young adult. Because that usually does involve some science fiction or fantasy. So I've read some of those. Tell us some more about like your reading habits and how you got like into those genres specifically.
Well, I don't know. I just
Because Legolas was hot.
no. I
Yeah.
love to read, but even before I was I didn't read Lord of the Rings until I was a freshman in high school.
Mhm.
And I didn't really know much about it till then. And my dad was more into like sci-fi. My mom's not into sci-fi or fantasy.
She's into the happy lovebirds live happily ever after.
Yes. So I kind of I love to read. And then I kind of just kept exploring on my own. And then when my friend showed me Lord of the Rings, I became obsessed with that.
As many people do. It's
Yes.
very easily a series very easily you can find yourself like lost in, and with all the lore, like the Cimmerillion and the Lost Tales.
Yes.
There's so much to it, and it's such a great mythology like based foundation to it that it's easy to get lost into. Like, what else do you like to read, and what are some of your other favorite series?
Favorite fantasy series?
Any series, book series.
I don't know. Right now I'm really into my little webtoon comics.
That's right. You are. You tell me all about them, which
Yeah,
brings up a point.
I
Remember when you
love them.
you took that college class about for your it was an English credit. It was the comic book class, and they had that huge list of comic books that you had to have for the thing. And I
Mhm.
had like 2/3 of those books already for you, so we
Yeah,
saved a
you
lot of
did.
money.
Yeah, you did have a lot of them already because they're expensive,
Yeah, the
graphic
graphic novels.
novels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I like all sorts of genres, I'm not as into like mystery, but I like thrillers. I like some horror. I like sci-fi, fantasy, regular fiction, I like romance. And I don't know, I like to read a little bit of everything. I just
I do
like
too, but I kind of stick to the science fiction, the fantasy, the horror, and a little bit of like random other stuff that just kind of pops up that people recommend. Why don't you tell everyone about the Book of Leaves?
The House of Leaves.
Yes, that one, the House of Leaves. Tell everyone about the House of Leaves.
You're the one who read The House of Leaves.
Yes, but whose book was it?
Well, Tom got me The House of Leaves as a gift because the concept is really cool. And like visually, the book itself is cool. Because they play with like the format of everything throughout the whole book. And it's sort of like a puzzle, right?
Yeah,
And it's a mystery thriller book with some
it's
horror.
it's just kind of I would call it like a science fiction, like thriller, horrorish type weirdness book.
Yeah. And he bought that for me, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. You don't understand, my reading list is so long.
I bought that book for her 2 years ago because she said this is the perfect book for an English major. There's so much detail goes into this. I would love to read this book. I was like, okay, I'll get it for you. Because we went to look for a used copy because we heard it was a really good book and it was recommended by friends. So we couldn't. So I ordered it for her. She's like, I'm so excited to read this. And then she's like, I'm not going to read it. You can read it first. I was like, okay. And I don't think she's touched the book since then. But what's also funny is my mom wanted to read it and my niece Daisy wanted to read it. So like the three most important women in my life wanted to read that book. I bought it all for them and not one of them has read it. And I liked it. I mean, it was a good
we
book.
have every intention to read it.
Sure.
But we're all readers and we all have long to read lists.
Yes, that is fair. Wow, what else was? Oh, let's talk about your. I know you don't want to go into too much depth about like what you're working on and what you're going to try to do with your little project, but you want to tell people, like a little starter about it?
Sure. I mean, I'm body positive / fat positive, and I am kind of working on a project to do with that, where I'll be interviewing people kind of, like sort of a similar format to your show, probably in a way. But yeah, it'll be in that vein of like eating disorders and mental health and body positivity and self-love and body neutrality and things like that. You know, I kind of stumbled on this community of body positivity, and also intuitive eating is something I've gotten really into. But that's more of like a personal choice, But yeah, I am interested in interviewing people about their experiences with their bodies and growing up and then now as adults. And I'm going to hopefully be interviewing my doctor and my physical therapist and try to get some other people on there, some experts too. But I also really want to get people, just everyday people that have grown up with body image issues or had people in their lives that made it really hard for them to accept their bodies how they were, or everyone has a different story when it comes to that. I really feel like every single person I talk to has some sort of story of feeling like their body isn't good enough, or that they have to change themselves to be loved or accepted, or to be attractive, or they can't love themselves as is, or and then the even bigger picture is like that's more self-love, but then like the even bigger picture of body positivity, which is advocating for the largest people in our society that have no access to anything, that can't live their lives, that can't find clothing that fits them because nobody makes clothing in their size. And if they get clothing, it has to be like a specialty thing, or they have to get it made or something, or they can't even find a chair in places, or you can't fit into an MRI machine. Advocating for the people that are discriminated against the most and treated badly in our society because of their size, or their disability or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something I'm really excited about. But I'm disabled, so it takes me a little while to work on things because I get really drained from my chronic pain and not being able to move very well or sleep very well sometimes. So those are all, hurdles to overcome, but I'm working on things and I'm excited about it.
So if any of like random Twitter or YouTube people, can they just send you like a direct message on Twitter or something and
Oh,
if they want
sure.
to be a guest on your show or whatever?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely looking for people to interview for my show. You know, but my show will be very personal, so it will have to be people that are okay, sharing their personal experiences, talking about some things that are very triggering and difficult to talk about, possibly talk about like family members, and their childhood and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure like everyone's comfortable sharing those things that's willing to come on. But I'd love to talk to people and, get some men. Like I have a lot of women that I'm going to be interviewing. But I also don't have that many men right now.
I
And
hope
so
not.
I just mean that I have on my interviewing list. You're
um,
the only one, honey.
so her name is down below, Lady Catherine 7. So you just need to add the at Lady Catherine 7 on Twitter. You know, if you're a dude and you're gonna DM a woman, it's always nice just to be like, hey, at Lady Catherine 7, can I send you a DM? I have interest on being your show. And then that way she knows, like, okay, I can friend you and then accept the DM, or I am expecting a DM from this person and I'll actually look at this DM and hope it's not a picture of someone's penis, because women, deal with that issue a lot. I get porn bots that just want to know where I am and how much money I'll send them. And people, DM women, it's just like straight dick, straight to the dong,
I
like,
don't
hey,
usually get that, but I get like, I got like one time, like, are you a sugar baby? Or like, it's always like, hey, can you talk or something? And then,
yeah.
sometimes they'll say something more disgusting after that, but I don't really respond. It's like some of them give up and then some of them like will keep messaging you. And then you're like, which ones are fake and which ones are actual people?
Well, they're all actual people, but are they like catfish or just people?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, are you, yeah.
I got some mail I want to show from some of my friends. You want to go through that with me real quick? Because I think there's a card you might actually like in one of these.
Sure.
So my buddy, he had a giveaway, Cash and Cultura, I guess. It's kind of hard to say. Um, he was redoing his YouTube show, and dang, this thing is like sticky. And he was doing a little giveaway, and I won some like old magazines from him. But you know, that's him. The little
Uh-huh.
sticker is on YouTube. Cash and Cultura. But this is the card he sent me. It's a Bernie Sanders Tops Now card. I didn't have one of these before. One of the highest printed cards Tops has done. But
Do
yeah, I
they,
thought you might like that. You could toss it in your little collection or put it with your William Shatner and George Takai autograph. But let me show the magazines real quick. They're just old Beckett's price guides from like way long back. And I picked these because like I have some friends that are like Seattle Supersonics fans, and that team no longer exists. So I thought this might be good to like give away to people. I love the Magic, and this one was just easy to pick these. So these are really cool. It's fun to go back through these and look and see what was hot. 1995. So that'll be fun. My buddy Kev, who's on the show last week, he said, thank you for the support, Kevin, at Cards Kevin. He sent me a thank you card and this KJ Hamler rookie, which is super sweet of him. My buddy Garrett and Parker, they sent me this little stack of Rockies cards. I'm just going to go through them real quick. Sorry, it's trying to get the ring light not to show glare. But these are super awesome. So happy to have friends that I do. Can't wait to put all these together with my others. Brian, who you met, he sent me this.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, except it's the wrong ones.
What do you mean?
I am one of those people that does not think The Magician's Nephew should be the first book in the series. It
Oh,
wasn't written that way. It didn't come out that way. But it's not for me. These are for my nieces. I asked for like all the kiddie-ish books that he had. I love the Chronicles of Narnia. It took me 3 times to read it because what was it? The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Man, that book is rough to read for a kid. I got stuck on that book twice, and then finally, like as an adult, I powered through and was able to read it. But yeah, The Horse and His Boy is also in the number 3 slot. So to me, I don't like that. It's, the girls aren't going to know, but I'll know. He also sent me some of these. I have, I don't know what the deal is with these, but 1357, the like a series of unfortunate events.
Lemony Snicket.
Lemony Snicket. So we got those for the girls. I have this exact book already out in storage. But yeah, the girls will love it. And then what else do I have here? Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Oh, that was cute.
So this is very generous, especially to mail heavy books out like that. So Brian, thank you so much. Little Pokemon tin. And he sent me some cards. Looks like Broncos cards and probably some Rockies cards.
It's fun.
Yeah, just some Broncos, some Rockies. Great stuff. All binder stuff. I mean, look at this sweet Nolan Arenado shiny card.
That's cool.
But thank you, Brian, so much. Yeah, it's like the best friends. And, I've sent all them stuff too. I actually haven't sent Kevin anything. I haven't sent Brian anything either, but we traded in person when we met. And man, he's such a good guy, and Lindsay, she's so great really too. Nice. Like, she's so cool. And we were talking about how like all of our good couple friends have moved. We had Jesse and Sammy, they moved to Chicago. Matt and Kim, they moved back to New Jersey. Then they didn't move away, but they are away. They came here to visit, and we're like, they're just right up there with them already. Like one night, they're like top 3 couple friends that we could have. That's not true. We have other great couple friends, but it was just so much fun to go through that.
There's like no one in our area anymore.
Yeah, they all moved. They all grew up.
Denver, and we're still up here.
So you want to stick around and talk to me about these video games, the NES games I have?
Sure. I don't know if I have input, but I will.
I'm just going to pull them off the top, and we can talk if you know anything about it. Number 1, John Elway's quarterback. If you've played this game, you know that if you do the normal play or the reverse play, you get a wide receiver that is like 100 times faster than any other player on the field. So what I would do when I played my cousins, I would call that play. I would run circles around the defense until the clock ran out, and then I would score the touchdown, making sure that they never had a chance, and then they would quit, and it was just the best time. Next up is a game that I think is really fun, and it's based on a movie that I was obsessed with when I was a kid. This would be Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, based on the Kevin Costner movie. This game, I love everything Robin Hood. Just that story. I was Little John in the musical in 8th grade, which was pretty prestigious. It's the second best role. It was even better than Maid Marian for singing parts. Well, not singing parts, but screen time.
But that's not fair.
I'm just trying to pump myself up, But a serious thing, one of the like big time drama kids in high school, he was cast as Friar Tuck, and we always called him Fire Truck, and it made him really upset but he became like the super drama kid that was like the star of everything in high school. And whenever he got like jerky to me, I would just call him Fire Truck just to remind him that I beat him out for a big part in 8th grade.
You know how to push his button.
Oh, he's a nice guy though. But yeah, this game, I loved it. I spent so much time with it. Really, really good game. The next, the classic that most everyone knows that follows me, RBI Baseball. We had so much fun with this game. My dad loved this game so much. He threw a perfect game and he plugged the VCR up so he could record the stat line and show us later, because it was like we went to go do something with my mom and he stayed home to play baseball. But yeah, somewhere we have footage of his perfect game he was so proud of. This one, Castlevania. This was an arcade game that, you played in the arcade. I still have the sleeve for it.
Castlevania, like the anime? No.
Yes, exactly. That's the anime is based off this game.
Okay.
Yes. That game was so hard for so many people. I beat it like once in my life. We always thought you were good if you got to like past Frankenstein. I think that's like level 3 or 4. I haven't played it in forever, but that series, the first 3 I played a lot. After that, I might have played Super Castlevania, but I didn't play any like the super cool ones on like PlayStation or anything like that. But
yeah.
I know you're interested in that anime, and we'll go back and watch it. Before we get to that one, how about we get to this one? The game that came with just about every Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. I don't think I have the gun anymore. I think my little brother has that. But my brothers and I, my older brothers, we would play that. We'd warp to level 3. We do the 100 lives trick there. And then we just play. So much fun. The big jump in like 8-2 or 8-1. We would lose like 50 lives before we got the hang of it. But that was a very fun game. Which brings me to this next one, Super Mario 2, which I love. I love it more than I like the first Super Mario. I know it's weird, and it's based on Doki Doki Panic, a Japanese game. They're like, our sequel in Japan is way too hard for these stupid Americans. Let's just slap Mario on this other game and shove it down their throats because they're bad at games. And yeah, I don't care. I love this game. It's just so much fun. I don't remember like anything of the Star Trek, the original series game. I think there's some space stuff. And then you like go on the ground and there's like poison and you had to have McCoy. And like, I don't know. You're not banging green aliens. You're not blowing up ships. You're not like cowboy punching anybody. So it's not as memorable as the show. But my NES still works, Catherine. So we just need to get my old CRTV out and we could hook the Nintendo up and we can play this.
That'd be kind of fun.
This next game is a cult favorite. Maniac Mansion. This game is so fun. I think is this the Night of the Meteor version?
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Based on the original Lucasfilm game, see the TV version on the Family Channel. Maybe they had a show on the Family Channel. This game, you pick 3 characters. You have a leader and you have 2 side characters, and you're basically trying to find your girlfriend who's locked in this mansion with weirdos. But it's like a mouse game. Like you should have it's like on a computer, like a mouse, but then they kind of like made it for Nintendo. This game's so fun. It's so wild. I actually learned how to steam open envelopes because of this game. Because you put a glass of water in the microwave and an envelope in the microwave, then you could open up the envelope without like tearing it. You could read the letter and then you could seal it and put it back. So like super fun game. I would go find a ROM or something and play this game. It's just crazy. This game everyone else is also very familiar with. Super Mario Brothers 3. People saw the movie The Wizard with Fred Savage. Taught you how to cheat at this game. That's the only reason we went to go see that movie, so we could see more footage of that. My dad was a singer songwriter, and he had a friend named Chuck Price who was a singer, and my uncle Ray was a songwriter and a singer. They came up with an album for Vietnam veterans that was called Welcome Home.
Yeah.
My dad went to go work on that in like the summer of 89 or 90 or something. I'm not 89 or 90, sometime there. And he went and he was gone for a while, and then he came back like a month, a few months or something. They were all working on it. He came back, he brought Super Mario Brothers 3, 2 joystick controllers for Daniel and I, and we each got a Game Boy. Mary got like dolls and stuff, but he came back bearing gifts. I still have my original Game Boy. I think it's got a little mark on the screen, so I play my color instead. But that's a very special game to me because, it was a gift from my dad to Daniel and I, but I'm not giving it to Daniel. I'm going to keep it so I have the complete set. He knows about it, and if he doesn't, I don't care.
I had a Game Boy Color.
You did?
Yeah, I used to play Donkey Kong on it.
Donkey Kong. Well, I still have my Game Boy Color because I was playing Pokemon in our first apartment 10 years ago.
Yeah,
the last time I played it.
I played some Pokemon on there too, yeah.
This game is one of the ones that changed my life. This is Dragon Warrior. Renamed Dragon Warrior. It was Dragon Quest in Japan, Dragon Warrior here. My mom got me a subscription to Nintendo Power because this game came with it for free. I didn't know much about it. She's like, he likes Zelda, maybe he'll like this. And this game, Dragon Quest, Dragon Warriors, one of my favorite series right next to Final Fantasy. You're just one guy, you go around by yourself, getting all the items you need to defeat the evil guy, and you can't refuse to marry the princess. They ask you, like, will you marry the princess? And you can say no. Infinity. They force you to marry the princess. And that was always fun. Little thing to find out. Mega Man 3. I always thought I had Mega Man 2, but apparently I have Mega Man 3. Mega Man games are super fun, super hard. Yeah, I never beat this game. But I do love the Mega Man series. So that's a good one. Where's my Final Fantasy game? It must be somewhere else. And then the gold cartridge, Legend of Zelda. I got this Christmas 1988. My dad and I
was my very first Christmas.
My dad and I beat this game together. We would take turns playing. I would play after school with him, and then he would go to bed. I would go to bed, and he would keep playing, but he would leave me detailed notes of what he did with pictures and stuff, so I could take over in the morning. And we just beat it together. 1 and 2, games 1 and 2, because once you beat the first game, you can save it again, and then it's the same map, but things are in different areas, so it's a little switched up and fun. The action role playing, this game is why I like everything that I have. I thought I had Final Fantasy 1 somewhere, but it must be either set aside and display, or I must have lost it somewhere over the years, because I also have like 4 other versions of that game, so it's not that big of a deal. But Final Fantasy is one of the biggest games that affected me. So that's just my little collection of Nintendo games. We were big renters. I don't own a lot of NES games because, like I said, we would just rent the games for a couple days, play them. My dad and my brothers, golf was the Nintendo Golf with Mario. That was one of the biggest games we liked to rent. We had so much fun with that.
Can you still rent games?
You kind of can through like Redbox subscription services, but no, not really. It's more just buying or borrowing or going to buy.
I feel like there was very little amount of time where I was young where you could rent games, and then all of a sudden it was just like you couldn't rent them anymore.
I think you could when Blockbuster left. I think that was kind of the end. Redbox had some game rentals. I don't think it was that popular. I mean, as of like a few years ago, you could rent games from Redbox.
Yeah, Redbox makes sense, but I guess it was just that the video stores went out.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
And
Video
did
stores.
Netflix ever do discs of video games?
I don't. I think they tried with a gaming. I think they had Netflix gaming or something different that they called it. We might have a bunch of comments here because I always forget. Gaby Baby, he said he wished he was married to Tom. Chase says holla. Graphic novels are pricey. My 10-year-old is obsessed with Japanese manga right now. All I wanted for Christmas was a 23-volume set of Demon Slayer for $300. Yeah, Che, it's insane. Lady Catherine happy. Just some random spam. And then yeah, Che, Zelda. We rented that before we bought it, and that's how we knew we liked it. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite memories is you could do the reset, whatever. I forgot what the controls were. That you could pause it in A, B, or something, and you would reset without dying. We would each take turns. We each got 2 deaths, and then you had to pass the controller to the next brother. Well, my older brother Nathan, who passed away years ago, he did the hard reset when he was about to die, so he didn't die. And of course, I ratted him out because I was to be next. I was like, Dad, he did the reset. That's cheating. He was about to die. And my dad took my side. Was like, Nathan, come on now. You were about to die. Let Tom play. And yeah, it was, probably another reason why Nathan hated me, besides me stealing his name and his family. So yeah, that's my collection of NES games. I plan on doing this for all the systems I have. I don't have a PlayStation 2 anymore. I sold that to my little brother because he wanted my Tiger Woods golf, and he's got some really amazing PlayStation 2 games. But I do have my Super Nintendo still, my 64, and your 64. You have some games in your 64 system that are still around that we could talk about. That's one we should have on, because we should talk about how you cheat at Mario Party and Mario Kart.
Don't cheat. I'm just good.
You are really good at that Mario Party. I'm not good at it at all. Mario Kart, the game itself now allows everyone to come back so easily, so it doesn't matter how good you are, because you'll just get the blue turtle shell and nuke me when I'm 3 laps ahead, or should have been 3 laps ahead, but they have catch-up mechanics, and then I end up losing, and then you cheat. But we can talk about that. I have my PlayStation games, lots of PlayStation games. I have Xbox 360. Probably won't get into those since they're a little more modern. I do have a Dreamcast and a Sega Genesis. We can talk a little bit about those. I don't have a lot of games for them, but they're super fun games. But
my brother had the Dreamcast and we played Spyro.
Yes. I didn't play Spyro. I got it for Resident Evil Code Veronica, which I never beat because I ran out of ammo and couldn't shoot any more zombies. So I said, dang this. And then I got it for Crazy Taxi, which is a super fun arcade game.
Yeah.
And it's a fun game to play on Dreamcast. I haven't tried my Dreamcast in a long time. Maybe it works, but we could see. But there's a super awesome video game store that we go to in Boulder that was next to the pizza place we liked before the pizza place closed down.
But that pizza place is now closer to where we live now.
Yes, they moved out.
Followed us out here.
So it's awesome. But we could always go check out and see if they have Spyro if we hook up the Dreamcast. And you can
I love Spyro.
your memories. So I think that's about all I got. We got through the mail. We talked some books, showed off my video games. We talked about your project. Is there anything else that you want to mention or talk about, or anything you want to come back on the show sometime? Or
yeah, I can come back on.
Did you have fun?
I mean, I'm sure your audience might rather listen to someone who knows about sports more, but
I think it's not about that, because my first guest on this revamped Tom show was Lance, and he's NFTs, but he also does cards too. But and I wanted
NFTs go with card collecting like perfectly, because it's like a digital card.
Don't tell my card friends that, because they'll lose their minds because they can't make that comprehension. They're like, I can't hold it. And you're like,
Okay, to me, it seems very similar. It's
it's
like a
very
digital
similar.
format. It seems like card collectors would go crazy over it, like
You
you
would think, and a lot of us have. Cash, let me pull up his sticker again. The homie Cash, he is into NFTs big time, and he just got back into cards. Because you can't go hard into one really. If you're like a true collector, you want both. And like Chase says, this isn't a sports show; it's an
have.
interview show.
It's a Tom
Um,
show.
it's a time show, and it's about. So I'll do my spiel that I do on every other show. I get depression. You know this. Manic and depressive, like my mania. You've seen, like, I'm crazy and I'm excited and I'm happy. It's way shorter than the depression part of
Do
the
you
manic.
think that's actual mania, though?
I don't know. It feels like it sometimes because it feels unnatural. Like the depression feels unnatural to some extent. So I'm not sure, but I want to try to get it figured out so I can get a
It
better
could be
control of it.
like anxiety more than mania, but it could be.
Yeah. But like I get depressed, and instead of just lying back in the bed watching Twitch on my phone, I decided, like, hey, I want to do my show again. But I just want to talk to my friends because I don't know my friends that well. I'm bad at communicating, and especially communicating on a deep, deep level. Like, I'm like, hey, I love you, buddy. I'll do anything for you. And hey, how's the work? And how's your sister? How's your family? Whatever. Okay, cool. See you later. But like, I don't know what motivates people, and I don't know what drives them. And I'm not getting that much on this show by that. Because a lot of people don't want to get too personal, but I'm getting to know my friends better. So I'm getting to know my friends better. I'm battling my depression, and I'm sharing what I love with my friends and hoping that my friends will love what I love. And that happens, and it's like, hey, I saw that show with so and so. I want to be on your show. Or, hey, I saw so and so on that show. I thought he was a jerk, but he's actually, like, seems like a super nice guy, and I followed him. So that's just the kind of the idea behind this is just, help me do something that fights the depression, gets me to, out of bed and less mopey. And, this is a lot of fun. I don't know. Did you have fun doing this?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's just a silly show where, we talk and I wear, the Snoopy hat, and it's just fun.
Do you
And
think people have a hard time like telling tone over Twitter, like in text?
yes, yes.
Because I
Lots of
feel like
misunderstandings.
people sound so rude sometimes over Twitter, and like in their head they're like laughing or saying it
Yeah.
in like a light tone, but then like it gets taken so seriously because you can't necessarily tell.
Well, but then there's also just nasty, awful people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And blocking them, it's just not enough sometimes. But you know what, just got to move on and forget, because if someone's making burner accounts to track you and to comment on your stuff, that
Well, yeah,
you're living rent free in
people
their head.
want to get mad on Twitter. Like they want to like misinterpret what you're saying almost to start a fight or something, you know.
And in the upper corner of the screen there by your head is the Tom Show giraffe. Yeah, there you go. See, it's not so easy. That is from the Giant Giraffe Gang. That's Cole, my buddy. He donated 100 of those for me to give away. Trying to sell some of those, and I will give away some for a contest. But what I'm doing is, and I have to redo. I cut a commercial for them that I was going to play in these videos, but they actually changed charities. They went from the World Wildlife Fund to a different one that was like more active and actually takes cryptocurrency. So it's like a better fit for the crypto community to be able to donate. So yeah, Che's getting one because he was going to get one regardless, but he did win an auction for one of Cole's giraffes. And I told Cole, like, hey, the winner of that can also get one of my giraffes that I'll send them, just kind of complete. But what I'm doing is the giraffe there is the yellow Voltron lion. And what's going to happen? And you saw the picture of Olive that I made the NFT into last night with my outfit on.
Yeah.
That is the black Voltron lion. we're going to have 5 NFTs. And if you're a super fan of the Tom Show, you're going to need all 5, because then you 5, we're going to combine them, and that's going to be your warrior to win. I've got a whole year ahead of me. I'm going to try to do some stuff where I save up to get prizes for people, maybe a hobby box of cards, maybe some other stuff. This giraffe and the NFTs, they're like $30, you know. That you buy one and you help pay my subscription for StreamYards monthly, you know, so that helps. And that's what you're doing when you're buying that. I'm not doing it to make money. I'm doing it to, you know, help my friend out, because he gets royalties for it. He gets 10%. I sold one of those. He got $3. He's like, hey, that's more than I made in the last 2 weeks. So, you know, it's like, hey, you're helping my friends out, but then you got to buy them all, and they're going to go to all different. Mine doesn't have royalties because I made it, and I'm not going to like double dip. I don't think that's fair. So the olive one, if you buy that, you know, you're going to get all the sales from that besides what OpenSea takes. The drafts are 10%. I'm asking my other artist friends to do 10% royalties, just so they get something for doing something nice and helping me out. But you're going to have to own these to participate in my stuff. And I know a lot of people are card people, but it's time to do both. You know, get your NFTs, get the Tom Show. I'll take PayPal and I can send that to you, you know, cheap. You know, it'd still be $30 because I do have to pay Cole his percentage, and I'd probably actually up it to like, you know, $5 out of 30, you know, instead of the 10%, do a little bit more, almost 20%, just because I don't have to pay the OpenSea fees. But, you know, at the end of the year, I'd like to have a whole bunch of prizes and give away some like Amazon gift cards or boxes of cards, or even just cool cards or whatever. But you do need to have all 5 NFTs, and that's the only way to get into it. And so that's the goal. It's going to happen because I believe my Duck Bucks, you know, they're my favorite people there. They said they're going to make one after they do their holiday ducks, which are going to come out. So we're going to have a Tom Duck, I'm hoping, whenever that is. But like I said, we got the whole year. And then I got to find 2 other people, and I'm kind of talking to some. So we'll see. But that's the idea. You're going to support my show by helping me pay for a ring light of my own so my wife can have hers back. You're going to help me pay for subscriptions, upgrades to my equipment, and by that, or programs, like I can actually edit stuff so I can make quality stuff instead of just Tom effort stuff, which is Tom tries really hard, but it looks terrible. But he's just going to say it's Tom effort instead of saying Tom tried really hard. So, oh, he missed out on the 101 he was bidding on last night. He read the end time wrong. That's okay, Che. You drove up the price enough that Cole freaked out. He was like, he's like, I can't believe he bid that. That's insane. It's not worth that. And I was like, dude, it's worth what people want to pay for it. They wanted to pay for it. So, Che, you're still going to get one. Cole, yeah, someone else bought that 101 giraffe. I do remember reading that now. I thought it was maybe a different giraffe that someone bought, but you know what? Like, hey, you know, you supported my friend because you're my friend. And that's what our hobby family does. It's like, oh, hey, I don't know this person, but Che speaks highly of him, so I'm going to follow him. And then, you know, you get new buddies, because like if you love Che, you know, you're probably going to love people that he loves. So, and this is the thing, people, I'm sorry to get on the soapbox. Like, you might have a good friend and you might like 60% of that friend, and he might be your best friend. But then your best friend might introduce you to like another person, and that person might be like 80% of a friend. And that's happened with me before. You know, like I had my friends growing up that worked at my convenience store, Jared Sparks and Jason Grossi, very good friends of mine, very close. But a friend of theirs was Nate Chubbuck and Scotty Spitzmiller. And those two have been my friends, like tight friends, for way longer. Those Jason and Jared, they're still my buddies. They're still my boys. They kind of did their own thing, moved away, dropped off. But like Nate and Scotty, like two of my closest friends with my buddy Dan. And we're just all together. So it's like my friends led me to better friends. So just think about that on Twitter. Like, you might like someone and be like, this dude is awesome, but we have like and you're not even thinking this, but this is what's true. Like, oh, we have like 60, 70% in common. But when you follow other people that they follow, you might be like, dude, this person has way more. And this is true for Che. Like, I found Che because Chris, our buddy, mutual friend Chris, Gold Line Cards, like, Chris is a Broncos fan, so like we kind of bonded over that, and he invited me into his little chat group and stuff. I was like, cool, this guy's cool. And then Che and I talk, and it's like Che and I are like 80% better buddy. You're not better buddies, but like 80% buddies. Yeah, he doesn't like the same teams that I like, but on like a person friendship level, it's just so much more of a connection. So just don't be afraid. Like if your friends say like, hey, follow my friend, or hey, this guy I recommend, or like this guy's new, but I know him in real life, you should be following those. If you follow that person originally, you should follow those other friends, because worst case scenario, you just unfollow them later because they're not interesting. Best case scenario, you find your new best friend like Che. Che, I know you're listening, and I know I'm not your best friend, but you're my best friend now. He's got good friends.
He's got too many friends. He's too popular.
He is popular. His friend Jen, they're best friends. They were coworkers. And they got along so well. So I can't be a better friend than Jen. And he's got his buddy Chad, that he went to college with, and they do cards in real life and all that fun stuff. I can't compete with that. But on the internet, I'm hoping I'm his best friend because he's mine.
I said I love you, buddy, in the comments.
Yeah. See, we love each other. And don't be afraid to tell people that you love them. You don't have to say you're in love with them. You don't have to tell them like how much you love them unless, you mean it. Don't just lie.
Don't get into detail. It's too complicated, but just let them know.
Yeah, just let them know, like, I love you and I care about you.
You're my best internet friend, no doubt.
And
so cute.
Like we met.
You guys have a cute little bromance going on.
We do. We had our own show for a while. We're going to bring that show back up. And see, yeah, you can't compete with 30 years of history. We've known each other 2 years. He bought us Fat Shack. We have the I Love Doobie stickers from it. So I don't know if you know that, but that was Che. He's the one that gave us that Uber Eats gift card that we ordered that from. And man, I would like to have that sandwich fresh and not 40 minutes like later delivered from Uber Eats.
You really get sad when things get cold and soggy.
Yeah. But I mean, what did my sandwich have? It had chicken tenders, cheese, onion rings, fries, mozzarella sticks, bacon, ranch, lettuce. And then we had the fried Oreos, which were good regardless. They did, funnel cake batter, and yeah. But I'm not asking to be Che's like best friend in real life. I'm very happy with the friendship that I have with Che right now. And like, you don't need to rank friends. You don't need to do anything like that, but you can always find more people. And I'm not saying better people, but better connections, maybe like to who you are as a person, maybe not like likes and interests, but that's probably even more probable. Like likes and interests might be more of a thing to go. So Catherine, let's see what it say. Basically a heart attack on a bun. Yes. And you're familiar with heart attacks there, Che, with having that Widowmaker.
Did he have that?
Yes, Che.
Because that's what Kevin Smith had.
Yeah, my heroes, my two heroes, both had Widowmaker heart attacks that they survived.
Scary.
Yes, Che has told that story. It's probably better that he tell you more about it sometime. But yeah, that was super scary for him. Yeah, 38. He was 38.
Wow.
Had his son in the car with him.
My brother's friend just died at 32 from a heart attack.
Yeah. So it's just a scary world because, you just don't think about dying that much unless you do, like me, and then you're obsessed with it. And I just can't. Driving 55. Yeah, he had his 18-month-old in the back seat.
Wow. That is terrifying.
Yeah. Che, we'll get you on a video call. maybe with just like not a video, and we could all hang out and get to know each other. Maybe have like a little drinking buddy stream one night with Catherine and I and you and Jen
And
and
Jen,
whoever.
yeah.
But yeah, that'll be fun. Catherine, anything you want to say before we get out of here? I think remind people that they can, if they want to be interviewed on your, is it going to be a podcast or a video show or both? Have you decided yet?
I'm still working on it. I think I'm going to be doing some videos, but I don't know if the show will be just a podcast.
Okay, because you could record the video and then I think with like my
Yeah,
editing
I may
software,
record it and put it on YouTube, but it'll be like a podcast. But yeah. And then I may just make some other video stuff, little smaller videos.
Like little vlogs or little like tips or reminders, like, you know, hey, do this today.
Or get you to learn a TikTok dance. No, I'm just
that's actually a plan, sneak surprise preview of that. I think July is my month for the Elrond Council of Rackers that for Eric Hacker. And for my Che and Eric have never watched or read Lord of the Rings, so they don't know what I'm talking about, but I have. And I'm Gandalf on the Elrond Council. So my contest is going to be one of my better cards left is you're going to have to do a Tom Show dance. And it's just, you're going to have to bust your move to whatever song is available. And it's going to be like, who makes you dance? You know, like who makes you so happy on Twitter that you just want to get up and dance for them. And then you're going to dance and they'll win the prize. Because this is what happened last year. I did the song, the Rackaroke, where people would sing for their hobby hero. This time you're going to have to dance for your hobby hero because now I'm a more visual person. I want to do a compilation of all the people, you know, busting their moves. They don't have to be good, but we'll have people vote on it. And we'll give away a pretty fun card. So, okay, Che did read The Hobbit as a freshman, so he gets that pass.
I read it then too. I read it this summer before my freshman year. It was on my reading list.
Everyone should read The Hobbit. It's just a fun little book. Lord of the Rings, they're good books too. They're not as like long as the movies. I love the first Lord of the Rings movie, The Fellowship. I hate the other two because they're so boring.
No, they're wonderful. The second one is a little hard to watch, to get through, because it's just all very like dark and
it's literally 2 hours of dun, dun, dun,
yeah,
dun,
it's all about like preparing for war.
Riding horses are running with this song and visuals, but no story advancement.
It's just like when you're in the deep shit of the is that okay to say?
Yeah, it's a PG-13.
Like before you get to the like, you know, climax or whatever, and you're just like in the mire and muck of it.
It probably didn't help
the second book and second movie.
Yeah. That I saw those as midnight showings. That's also probably why I hate them, is because you know, we went to the
my mom fell asleep in that second one because she was so bored.
We went to Lord of the Rings. You know, we got home at 5 o'clock in the morning from the midnight show because it took so long, and it was in Crest Butte, which is like 45-minute drive. And then we had to go to work at 8 o'clock. So I hate I hate Return of the King. I don't like its towers. They're so boring and so long. And I love the books. Silmarillion is super fun. I really need to read that one again. Amazon's going to have the new Second Age show that's going to come out. Maybe I'm hearing there's a whole lot of trouble with that now. They fired the official Tolkien historian because apparently they did not agree on which way to go with the show. So who knows? But I'm excited.
Was it his son? Was it Christopher?
No, it was someone else. Christian's dead now.
He's dead. Yeah. Didn't he die recently, like a few years ago?
Yeah, it's some other. Is like the
his grandson.
Tolkien. I don't know. It's not a Tolkien. It's someone else, or Tolkien. Okay. Sorry, that stupid movie. Well, anyways, so I think we'll let you go. We tried to end the show about 20 minutes ago, but Tom likes to ramble and go on little rants. My wife wanted to come on just for a little bit, but she had so much fun. She stayed for the whole show. So everyone go tell at Lady Catherine 7 that you loved her on the show, that you want to support her. So give her a follow.
Very sweet.
If you're not weird, she'll probably follow you back.
You're not
If you
weird.
want to be on her show, make sure you tweet her first before you just DM her, so she knows to look for your DMs, and not just think it's spam. Because why would any attractive woman look at her DMs nowadays? So you just gotta let them know, hey, I'm gonna DM you. Is that okay? Wait for the response and then DM. Unless you've DM'd before, then I feel like it's okay to just DM. But and that goes for anyone, really. Just show a little respect. Like, hey, I'm going to DM you. If you've never DM'd them before, just be like, hey, look for me. I'm going to DM you, because they might get 100 DMs. You don't know. They could be way popular. I'm not way popular. I get bots. Like, people are like, how do you get so many bots, Tom? And I'm like, I get like 3 a month. I just tweet about it when I do, because I have fun. I haven't lately because I've just right away been like,
try to make them frustrated.
Yeah, they've blocked me and they banned me. So I think I go on the list of whoever's running the spam bot accounts for that month. And then when the new person comes in, they try again, and then they're like, nope, block that guy, and then they try again the next month. I got an Indeed. No, not Indeed, a LinkedIn sex bot request the other day.
That's a weird one.
And someone that follows me in the hobby was like, hey, that's porn star, what's her name? And I was like, well, you just outed your taste in porn. He deleted the tweet quickly before, because I responded to that, but it said tweet was deleted. And I was like, well, screenshot, DM him. He's like, I don't know if it was appropriate or not.
Nothing's ever deleted it once it's posted.
Yeah, I was like, everybody just knows your taste in porn now. And if you're okay with that, I don't care. Like,
loud I mean? And proud.
So Catherine, I'm going to play my little exit, my theme
outro
video. Yeah.
Your outro.
Che wasn't following you. Moose was following, and I think Brian was following. Oh, now Che's
That's
following.
Okay. I'm not that active on Twitter yet, but I would like to become more active on it. I'm a little more active on Instagram, but
she's going to teach me Instagram, and maybe she'll let me teach her Twitter. Although I don't know why I need her to teach me Instagram, because some of my Olive videos get like 3,000 views and 200 likes, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just that good at social media. So if you need a social media manager, you should hire me. Because once I learn from my wife how to do these fun things that the kids like, TikTok, Instagram, it's over for you. It's the end. It's the new world order. It's creepy hats on every picture. I am playing. All right. All
right. Thanks for having me
on.
Thank
you so much for being on.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. And I'm gonna play my little thing, and then you could just bounce on out. Che, thanks for hanging out and chatting. And everyone else that commented. We'll see you next week.